Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, I'm Janetta, an author who loves to draw. On my channel, I focus on combining storytelling with art. If that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's get to it.
SSMD So It Begins, Chapter 29, Special Delivery. Dear Burnt Out on Love, you answered your own question when you said you love one another. Never walk away from tried and true love. You and your husband actually have a wonderful opportunity to rediscover each other and start a new romance. Instead of wasting energy thinking about leaving, use it to think about what you both need to do to reconnect. It definitely would be worth the effort. Go light a new spark, the SSMD advisor. Eva. I was at the grocery store picking up a few items when I spotted a short, slightly gray lady staring at some cornmeal on the top shelf. I turned down the aisle and asked, "Excuse me, do you need some help? If you could grab me one of those cartons of cornmeal, I'd appreciate it." She pointed to the one she wanted, and I grabbed it for her. She placed it in her cart. "Thank you." She smiled and started to walk away, then stopped short. "Maybe you could help me with something else. I'm cooking dinner for my son tonight, and while I'm a good cook, I'm horrible at baking. Do you know a great bakery where I can purchase some baked goods? I know a couple, but one of my friends is considering partnering in a cafe to sell her baked goods. She is an excellent baker, so if you want, I can give you her number and you can either have her bake something especially for you or pick up something from the cafe." That sounds fabulous. My son Xavier loves carrot cake, so I was hoping to get him a good one. He rarely goes off his health nut diet, so I want to make it worth his while. Do you mind calling her now? I called Leah, who agreed to make a carrot cake after she got off work. The cake wouldn't be ready until 5:30. Darn, I won't have time to pick it up. Dinner is at 6. The lady seemed so disappointed. Will the dinner be in this area? Maybe I could pick it up from Leah and drop it off. I don't know what about this lady made me want to help her, but I was going out of my way to do so. The lady grabbed me into a bear hug. That would be perfect. Thanks. I made an arrangement with Leah to pick up the cake and then hung up. The lady pulled out a piece of paper and was writing her phone number and the address. I'm so excited. You can meet Xavier when you drop the cake off. The glint in her eye made me rethink my offer. I knew a matchmaking look when I saw one. I took the paper and tucked it into my purse. Look, Mrs. Collins, Jessica Collins. Well, please call me Jessie. Okay, Jessie. I'm Eva, and I see that little glint in your eye. Let me just say, most men don't usually fall for a woman handpicked by their mother. She smiled. I don't know, Eva. I introduced my youngest son, Evan, to his wife. You're not married or involved, are you? No, I'm not, but I'm not looking either. Perfect. That's normally when you run into Mr. Right. Well, Eva, I need to get going, but I look forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks for all your help. I finished shopping, then went home to finish working. I now respond to 20 posts a day and was researching starting a blog and adding it to the SSMD site. Before I knew it, it was time to pick up the cake. When I arrived at Leah's, she was frosting the cake. I sat in the kitchen with her while she finished. So how are things with you and Mario? We hadn't talked in a few days. I have no idea. Last weekend, Carla made a surprise appearance, and Mario has been MIA ever since. He calls every day and promised we'll get together soon, but so far he hasn't made good on his promise or thought enough of me to tell me what's going on. I'm trying to keep it together and not freak out, but I'm struggling with trusting him right now. No worries, though. I'm focusing on what I need to do to come up with enough money to buy into the partnership. I'm going to start working there on the weekends for the next month to make sure it's what I want to do. But I'm leaning heavily towards doing it already. She boxed up the cake and handed it to me. Good for you, Leah. And hopefully things will work out between you and Mario. Thanks, Eva. So where are you dropping this off? I set the box on the table and dug the piece of paper Jesse had given me earlier. Good question. Let's see. I unfolded the paper and read it. Unbelievable. What? I'm delivering it to my next door neighbor's house. I couldn't believe it. Was Xavier Mr. Ben's brother? Chapter 30. Guess who's staying for dinner? Dear SSMD advisor, I am recently divorced mother of 3 young children, all under the age of 10. I've been out of the dating game for over 10 years. I have a few questions. First, how soon after divorcing should I start dating? Also, when I do start dating, when is it appropriate for me to introduce a potential mate to my children? This is all so intimidating. Please help. Intimidated. Eva. I stood on Mr. Ben's front porch ringing the bell. I still couldn't bring myself to think of him as Mike or Michael. In my head, I kept chanting, please don't let him be the one that answers the door. I repeated it over and over, knowing that, yep, he answered the door. I didn't know why I even played the chatting game. I mean, it is his house after all. Why wouldn't he open his own door? Eva, come on in. He didn't seem surprised to find me on his doorstep. I ran into your mother at the grocery store and promised I'd drop this cake off, I explained, trying to hand it to him without entering the premises. He reached out and took the box in one hand, grabbed my hand with the other, and gently pulled me in. Yeah, she told me that you would be stopping by with dessert. He smiled. All of a sudden, I felt a bit warm. Come on, she's waiting for you. He led me by the hand into the dining room and stood me in front of a large table of his family. The noisy bunch quieted down and all turned towards me. Eva, you made it. Jessie came out the kitchen holding a large platter of what looked and smelled like jerk chicken. Have you met everyone? She sat the platter on the table and walked over to me and gave me a hug. I saw knowing looks cross from person to person at the table. No, I was just about to introduce her when you walked in, Mr. Ben said, handing his mom the cake box. He started with the older version of himself at the head of the table. This is my father, Michael, my younger brother, Evan, and his wife, Erin, their daughter, Tiffany, my younger sister, Crystal, and her boyfriend, Kurt, my older sister, Nina, and her son, Tony. Everyone, this is my neighbor, Eva. He looked at me to supply the last name, Walker. It's nice to meet you all, I said, feeling like an intruder. I accepted all their hellos with what I hoped was a warm smile. Well, I don't want to hold you up any longer. Enjoy dinner, I waved and was about to turn and leave. Nonsense, you're going to join us for dinner. And don't think about saying no, Jessie said, taking my hand and leading me around to one of the empty chairs. Now I see where Mr. Benz learned that take me by the hand method. I noticed that there were 2 seats conveniently open together and near her end of the table. Jessie, I wish I could stay, but... Oh dear, do you have plans? Jessie looked heartbroken, and I opened my mouth to lie and save myself, but my double-crossing mouth said, no, but I don't want to intrude. Nonsense. We all welcome you. You sit here between me and Xavier. Mr. Benz pulled out the chair for me and then took the seat next to me. I looked over at him. Your name is Xavier? Kendra said that it was Michael. It is Michael Xavier Collins III. My grandfather is holding down Mike. My father is holding down Michael, so I go by Xavier. It's nice to finally meet you in a cordial and non-abrasive manner. He smiled at me, and again I felt warm. All right, everyone. Let's join hands so Xavier can bless the food and we can eat, Jessie said, smiling at me as if she knew and loved me. Xavier and Jessie each took one of my hands, and I knew I had to get out of there as soon as possible. Leah. Leah opened the door and let Mario in to a lukewarm welcome. He knew he had some explaining to do and hoped she was ready to hear what he had to say. How have you been? He asked, following her into the living room. He didn't miss the fact that she sat in the chair instead of the couch where they could sit together. First, let me apologize for the last few days. Skip right to the chase, Mario. What is going on with you and Carla? Leah was tired of trying to figure out what was going on. She went into the doctor for a checkup and... Please don't tell me she's pregnant. Leah felt sick. Not the same old story. No, nothing like that. Is that what you were thinking? No, the doctor felt a lump in one of her breasts during the exam and he wanted Carla to come in for a biopsy. Carla was scared and wanted someone she trusted by her side. She asked me to go in with her. The days following her biopsy, I tried to keep her mind occupied until she received the results. Which were? Leah asked. It was benign. Thankfully, she doesn't have cancer. Mario looked relieved. Leah saw something else in his eyes that made her sick to her stomach. She'd seen that look in Philip's eyes for Sharon. Though it pained her to admit it to herself, she knew that a part of Mario still loved Carla, and he needed to get completely over her before he could commit to anyone else. Leah stood. Well, thanks for telling me. Now, if you don't mind, I've had a long day, and I need to get some rest. Mario stood and looked at his watch. It's only 7. Are you okay? I'm just tired. Look, we could talk some more tomorrow. She walked him to the door and opened it to let him out. Mario looked in her eyes. Don't do this, Leah. I know what you are thinking and why. I'm leaving now, but even though I have feelings for her, I know we aren't good together. Don't toss out what we have because I know we will be good together. I'm not walking away, Mario. I'm taking a step back. Now please leave so I can figure out if I have enough fight in me to go down this road with you. I'll call you as soon as my heart allows me to. In the meantime, maybe you could do me a favor and do some soul searching and find out if your heart is available or not. Good night, Mario. Good night, Leah. He kissed her gently on the lips and then walked out. Sharon. Sharon's fuse was about to blow. She and Philip were at their second appointment with the marriage counselor, and the counselor had the nerve to ask her why she didn't try to stop Philip from cheating. Excuse me? Sharon made no attempts to hide her anger. Why didn't I try to stop him? Why should I have to stop him from doing something he knows is wrong? If he was about to make a bad investment and you learned about it, would you have tried to stop him? Of course I would, but that's different. Sharon stood up ready to walk out. Calm down, Sharon. She's only trying to help us. Philip tried to reason with her. Help us? How is she helping by asking me idiotic questions? Am I supposed to watch you every second and keep you from doing idiotic things in this marriage? What? Am I my husband's keeper?
Hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be and stay blessed.